We have 2 trains of Type 1 planned for this week. We have a dead and battered 40-yard bin that we need to resurrect. I need to finalise the plans for a basement, and we have a serious issue with the supply and cost of diesel. I'm Daniel, and this is Ashville Weekly, episode 75. You will get turned over very quickly.
Let's see if we can get it open.
No, I can't even put it here. Destroyed the shape of it. It's about this much bigger. I've done very small ones and very big ones. Well, don't walk into the pole. Let everybody fill up and pay one after the other. It gets harder and harder, and attach chains and straps to it on some Romeo and Juliet business. We beat these bits back in. Believe it or not, Sam, this is the fun stuff for me. You know, he needs to be loaded. And I'm in the yard. The train is here and it's getting offloaded. Well done, Flo. Feeling a little bit special today, a little bit different. Got my new boots on, and my new boots, somehow, some way, Kanye West has decided that work boots are now fashionable. And here I am, a bit of a mixture of Thanos and Kanye West all at the same time. Now I'm telling you, last season Balenciaga brought in the high vis, and that was fashionable. And this year Kanye's rocking work boots. If we are going down the route that trendy clothes are workwear, I'm in the game. I'm gonna be in GQ before we know what's going on. And I have all the clothes, I have everything necessary to be the coolest, most trendy person out there. Weekend, I was at the boxing event. A couple of YouTubers throwing hands. I'm not gonna lie, I quite liked it. It was really fun. Just throwing it out there. I kind of fancy throwing hands myself. It's been a long time since I was in the ring, but watching the guys do it. But I'll tell you something, credit to those guys. There was a lot of people in the crowd saying things like, oh, what are they doing? I would say boxing is one of the most difficult sports you can do, and boxers are probably the most fit people on the planet. Loading a lorry. The cardio you need to do to continually box at that pace in front of all those people is like astonishing. You'd be surprised how hard it is. If you go in the gym and pump weights and think that you're gonna box, you will be very mistaken and you will get turned over very quickly. The project I showed you 2 weeks ago, where we're planning on putting the gym underneath the front garden, we had a little bit of a chat with the planners and the heritage officer, because it is a heritage area. Now, they recommended that they may not give approval if it's gonna be in the front garden, because that's going to be setting a precedent in the area. But we spoke to the client last week, and the client said, I don't care. I want what I want. You got to give the people what they want. So we are going to apply for permission, and hopefully we're going to get it, which will probably take a minimum of 10 weeks. But we're going to submit that planning application either this week or early next week. This week, a few bits to do in the yard. We have an old beaten up 40-yard bin. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this bin because there's no point, because the amount of time I would spend on this bin, I could have bought a new one for the price, but I just want to get it decent so we can use it. The 20-yard bin you saw we bought a very long time ago. We're going to get working on that as well this week. Let's have a look at the work on the 40-yard bin. Saturday of last week, you saw us do the pedestrian walkway over here. Now, I am struggling to find these pedestrian access barriers. I need 3 of them to put them in the yard so we can finally finish the safe pedestrian walkways, but I haven't managed to find any of them anywhere, so I'm gonna have another look for that later. Now, I'm gonna go and have a chat with Terry, because we are entering information into our new system, the one I keep talking about, that's gonna digitalize the business. So we need to take loads of information and feed it into it, but there's a part where we need to talk about postcodes and rates. So I need to have a sit down with Terry when he's not busy doing other bits and pieces. So I'm going to head to my office. While I do that, let's have a look how this train got offloaded. I love a montage without music. that we want postcodes in the system.
What is the relevance of them being in the system?
I think it's one of two things. I think one, is going to help us price. I assume if you go to book on a skip and you put a postcode in, it will automatically... Yeah.
You don't like zonal pricing for skip.
Yeah, but that's not really applicable though, is it?
That's for fixed pricing for areas.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That would probably work for the skips and the grabs.
We got a bit of a problem, people. The price of diesel continues to go up. Like I said last week, we had a price increase on cement. We're gonna have to put our prices up again. I'm here being silly, like tiptoeing around things, treading on eggshells. Like, people are sending a letter a month about a price increase, and there's nothing we can do. There's no way that we can absorb it. Like, we can't. We're gonna have to put all our prices up again. I don't see how anyone couldn't put their prices up. What was we paying a couple of weeks ago for diesel?
110.
110. And what are you getting quotes at? If you can get a quote.
156.
£1.56.
Yeah. I said two companies have said they can't quote me because the stock that they've got is for their contract work.
Ah, because they're tied in.
They call it, so they call us like spot sales, where we use sort of various suppliers.
Yeah.
We're not tied into a contract. We're classed as a spot sale.
Ah, because we didn't.
Supplier.
Okay.
So they said that for now they've just stopped spot sales.
Okay. Terry and I are going to have to sit down and look at the costs and work out what we're actually going to do here, because this like, the numbers are no longer adding up. Like, this is making no sense, like, day in and day out. So we have to go back to a bunch of people and say that things are more expensive again. And the people we're saying this to, they're going to have to go back to their clients and they're going to have to say, actually, concrete is more, waste removal is more, materials are more. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. We thought moving away from red diesel in April was the problem, but now the problem is there is no diesel. We've actually got no fuel in the yard whatsoever, and we're meant to have a delivery between 2 and 4 o'clock, and it is 3:09. And I see no sign of diesel. And some of the lorries, we had to go to the petrol stations and pay by card to put diesel in them. And there's no diesel in the yard. So if that fuel doesn't arrive, like, we are banging, like, them lorries ain't going out tomorrow. Not at the moment, unless I go and stand in the petrol station and let everybody fill up and pay one after the other, which isn't great. One, because it cost us more money, and two, because we shut down the petrol station and everybody gets upset with us and there's a big line of lorries going down the road. And if this has happened to anyone else, there could be a couple of firms all stuck in the petrol station. This is just long. It's not easy, Tezza.
Definitely not easy, Daniel. It's definitely not easy.
And that's our cue. Let's hope we get some diesel in by the end of the day. It's Tuesday and I'm in the yard. A very long time ago, you heard me talk about this machine and the fact that it needed an upgrade. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have neglected this machine a bit, but like, the machine is just absolutely battered. There's not really a lot I can do to this, and with the age of it, the amount of money I'm going to spend to fix this, I already reconstructed the engine nearly 2 years ago, so I think it's about time for an upgrade, and I'm going to give this one as a trade-in. Now, I've been waiting for Liebherr to come up with what I call the 14-ton compact, but apparently they're telling me that it actually weighs about 17 ton. Now, one of the things that I'm worried about, about this big machine is, that's the bin being plugged on. We'll talk about that in a minute. I want to compare this machine. I suppose I can measure it along here. Here we go. So this is an 8-ton Cat 308. And this one is 2.270 meters. Now, having a look at the dimensions on this other one, this one is the width. It's a bit bigger, so it's about this much bigger. I think the machine is still small enough that it will be nimble. Let me try and measure this from front to back. 3733. Kevin, just measure from the back of the tracks, please, yeah? So these tracks, about 2.9 roughly. Oh, wow. And the compact is about this big. So the compact isn't so compact, and it's a lot heavier, but it's the smallest machine Liebherr do, and I like to have a uniform fleet. I'm going to have a look at a couple of the other dimensions on it. Just waiting for Liebherr, because I want to put a grapple on it. They have to cost up all the hydraulics they have to do, and then we have to decide what color it's going to be in. You know what color I like my machines to be in. Just like the LH60. I have some serious thinking to do, and I'm going to discuss it with the boys in the yard, have a chat with Terry, and see if we think that machine will be good enough, but small enough so it can be operational and at the same time be able to nip in and out of spaces and do what we need it to do. 40-yard bin update. Now this bin is the most battered of the battered of the battered bins, and the man who's working on this bin asked me if I don't like him, because it's the only reason that I could ask him to work on this bin, but that's not true. I like him very much. But he's the man who can save this bin. You see that we flipped this on its side and we had to put some pressure on it. So this was completely bowed. It was pushing out. So we managed to push this down. But then in this area, if you have a look, so we have the block and chain pulley here and we have our acros here, because this bit is a bit down, but that bit is a bit out. So we're trying to hold the distance between them while using the block and pulley to get the shape of this back how we want it. And then we have some old steel here, what we're going to use along the side and strengthen it up. All the other bits you can see along here, we've beat these bits back in. We don't need this to be perfect, so we're going to weld those little bits. We're going to put a new plate there, we're going to put a new plate here. This bin is not going to be brand new, but it's definitely going to be usable, and I should get a couple more years usage out of it. I know it looks like I'm going a bit overkill, and I should have taken this to the 40-yard bin cemetery. I know people are pulling faces off camera, but I needed to save this bin because I need it for something in particular. So, all going well. Off to do a little bit of filming now for a standalone video, but just going through a WhatsApp group where I'm talking about the basement salvage. Well, don't walk into the pole. He did it anyway. We're just trying to work out if there was a 200mm recess for the cinema speakers that we want to use in the ceiling void. And has checked, and there is. So all is good to go. We're just working on another set of renders because the client gave us a couple of updates to do. If those are approved, we should be able to put a price in place. And the client said, if we can agree, he wants to get started right away, which is good for us and good for him.
Well, them burials there, yeah?
Sorry, not
that lens is better. Whose lens is it?
Stan's.
Why is that lens better than all mine?
It's a prime.
It's a what?
Prime lens.
A prime lens.
It's sharper.
Is that like a prime transformer, like one of the primes? That's the best, yeah?
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's pretty good.
We did get diesel yesterday, as you saw, but that diesel hasn't lasted very long because they didn't give us much. Now Terry's struggling to get us some allocation of some more fuel. And what's the system now, Tel?
It goes into a queue, so I've placed the order. It goes into a queue, and then the transport team at the fuel supplier will allocate that according to their routing schedule, I suppose, to optimise their own lorries and whenever they can get it to us.
So have they actually got the fuel?
This company is saying they have it. Yeah, there's two that I've spoken to that said they're on allocation from their supplier, so they're not even quoting spot sales.
So basically, if we get the call, we need to hurry up and pay as soon as possible, and then hope that they can get us in, because we will run out of diesel again when?
Probably today. We got 5,000 litres yesterday. The time everyone filled up last night and this morning. I tried to make them only put in sort of half a tank, just enough for the day, so that we kept some in the tank to try and make it go further.
Right, okay.
So we're just trying to trying to ration it at the moment, trying to make it go a bit further.
Alright, so we have a number of problems on many levels. You can hardly get it, but then the price of it's gone through the roof. But if we don't get it, how do we operate? And if we do get it and we pay an extra price for it, how do we actually make any money if everything's going up and going through the roof? We were going to film for a standalone video, but Terry and Kevin are far too busy. I can't pull them away from these desks to go in the yard, go and doing the Hollywood stuff. So I think we're going to have to reschedule for another day when we can see the light through the clouds.
Yeah. Today's not really the day for that.
Today's not the day. Now Terry's not shy of the camera at all.
So the best option for me was to plead guilty. We've got another train this afternoon of ballast. It never stops.
You're welcome.
See you soon.
What cool, innit?
Guys, this is for weekly, so we've got 2 cameras. Boom, 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 boom. We're filming a standalone video, which I said earlier we weren't going to do, but what I thought to myself, instead of dragging Terry and everyone out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film everything myself. I'm going to drive the truck myself. I'm going to direct it myself. I'm going to do everything myself, and while I'm doing it, I'm going to answer my phone as well, because I feel we could do it a lot quicker, because obviously me and the video team, and Frighty, and Jay, and Frighty, and Jay, and Frighty, and Jay, and Will. No, there's no third camera. We do this all the time, so we can get it done a lot quicker. At the moment, they have come to collect the merch. The merch is being taken. It's been taken to distribution centre. There will be umbrellas. There will be hoodies. There will be soft toys, and that's about it, because everything else is sold out. By the time you watch this, I could get egg on my face, but I believe everything will be on the store. But it could be sold out. It very well could be sold out, but we will see. Also, we have a problem with the hook loader. One of the hoses are gone. So we've got someone to come in now. They are now fixing it and trying to fit it onto the hook loader. And Terry is going to go over there and he's going to test it and see how it's working. Oh, there's a lot going on in here. It's 4:01. The lads are coming back. We've got lorries loading type 1. We've got Arctics trying to turn around. We've got concrete lorries trying to load. We've got everybody trying to diesel up. We don't have any more diesel at the moment. It's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem. And we've got other people coming in to collect. And this diesel crisis is brutal. So Wilson and I have swapped roles. He's sitting in, I won't call it the boss's chair, but he's sitting in my chair, and I'm sitting in the chair of whoever comes to see me, seeing if we can't find some genuine inspiration. A couple of things I've been working on today. Fortunately for all of us, the YouTube room I spoke about us doing, the works have been approved, but I'm just talking to the building management. I'm going to have to prepare a package to say what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and just provide all our insurances, to talk about our capabilities, just so they know that we are who we say we are and we haven't parked up our horse outside. In other news, the basement job I spoke to you about earlier in the week, when I said that people didn't care and they wanted the basement underneath the garden even though it wasn't advised. I'm just waiting for a quotation from the heritage consultant, and I also need something from the structural engineer. I need him to give us a structural statement, not calculations at this stage, but just a statement so it can be part of our planning submission. So hopefully by the end of the week that will be done as well. Now, a few weeks back, when we had the problem with our hard drive and we lost everything, we lost all the footage for a home automation video that we were going to be working on. Now, we filmed for a standalone video yesterday. Hopefully we can bring you that in the next few weeks. But now there's a couple of videos what we need to get out of the way before we start filming some of the new cool ideas that we're going to be working on. So that home automation video, all the footage is completely gone. So now we have to rewrite a script and think about doing it retrospectively. Wilson loves the techie gear. Wilson, head of tech. He's sitting in my chair and we're seeing if we can't rewrite this script. And I think the important parts about it we're going to still have and we're still going to document. The trouble is we can't show you the work in progress like we did with the basement salvage video. Click here to watch that video, which is doing quite well. Wilson. Tell me, what do we think?
So what, the rack has already been installed, so I think we can talk like per piece of equipment what everything does. There's plenty of things in here, like
but let me ask you something. As a tech guy, how much information is too much information, and what is going to make this video boring?
So I don't think we should, in the script we've got talking about DHCP protocols and static IP addresses. I feel like we're going in it almost at the wrong angle. I think the way we should try and explain it is that it's simplifying the process of like the end user. So Yanni and Steph to turn on their TV. It's one button, and that'll do. They can have the lights, they can have everything, and it simplifies it. Just turning it up, as opposed to having 5 remotes, it's one. So I think we should try and go from that angle.
Okay, and how much of the journey do we want to show? How we got to that point?
I'm not sure how much we can show. Well, we can show. I've got some shots of speakers being installed and keypads going on the wall, but how much you want to break it down, really.
Have you made alterations to the current script, or you've made new notes?
Some new notes, but I've only been adding on to what we already have. I think we should rethink the idea.
We're saying my script is garbage.
I'm not saying it's garbage. I'm saying it would have worked well, but unfortunately we can't do that now.
We're saying I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you do know what you're doing.
Alright. Well, this is how ideas are formed, and this is how we discuss and work our way through videos. And Wilson is very excited about, not that Wilson ain't excited about every video ever, but he's definitely most excited about this one, aren't you, Wilson?
Particularly passionate about home automation.
There we go. So, and on that note, that is it for Wednesday in the yard. I'll see you tomorrow. Nathan, cut it.
Thursday, and I'm in the yard. Southern Vulcanising are here, and as Nathan is here, we may put the jungleistic pressure and the jungleistic pain back on. I think Nathan works better under them conditions. We're going to put this in place here, and we need to build 3 sets of legs for this, but the legs are going to be built in situ so we can get it perfect. Once that's in place, put feet underneath it, try to bolt it down permanently, and then a hopper will be built here. Now the hopper has to be built in situ, so we have 3 hurdles left. 1, installing this and the hopper. 2, fencing all around it and blocking it off. And then 3, connecting the electrics, but we are nearly there. So this could take about a day and a half, 2 days to do properly, but when it's done, it will be done, and then we can box it in and start our electrical work. Let's do this. Time for a train of ballast. Let's get the LX60 up to working temperature. Thankfully, we have diesel, so we've been struggling to get it, and now somebody has agreed to give us 10,000 litres of white and 6,000 litres of red. We ideally wanted 20,000 litres of white, but get this on the price. We are being charged £1.79, excluding VAT for the white diesel, and £1.39 excluding VAT for the red diesel. Now, when we said to guys at the fuel company,
this is more expensive than the pump,
they said,
we are a week ahead and you will get this on Monday.
Wait and see what people are paying at the pump on Monday. So a couple of things. I'm very worried what it's going to be like for the rest of the country on Monday at the pump, or we're being skanked. I need to go and do a watch through with Jay of weekly episode 74. Let's get this train offloaded. still Thursday. I'm still in the yard. I have a delivery. I believe I know what it is. It's taken quite a while. Let's see if we can get it open. The sensible thing to do would be to go and get a Stanley. But I'm not going to do that because that would make my life too easy. And why would I want my life to be easy? And like a silly person who thinks he'll never have to send anything back, I'm going to take the top bit out and throw it. That did not go according to plan. Woo-hoo! Look at that. This was the limited edition 140th anniversary QPR kit. And they were very limited, but I managed to get hold of one for my office, even though I'm running out of space on my office walls. I don't know where I'm going to put this. And Simon is having a look.
I will find a home for it.
Simon will find a home for it.
I will do, definitely.
What do we think, Si?
Yeah, lovely. It's
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that one still up in your house, or Lisa took it down?
No, it's still up there.
It's still up, yeah?
Private place in the house, and you've got
So I'm going to take this upstairs, try and find some space for it in my office, and while I'm there, I have a Zoom call with our architect. I can either put it here, or... No, I can't even put it here. There's a switch in the way. All right, cool. I can't put it anywhere. Oh, no. Ah. All right. Oh, no. What have I done? All right. Okay. Right, it's going to go there. I'm glad I could spend this time to figure out where I'm going to put this on the wall, which makes no money whatsoever, while people wait for me to have a Zoom to talk about a paid job. Yes, Daniel, make sure your priorities are in place. Okay. Talk to me.
All right, CNO.
I am here to assist.
So they want the utility back, change that whole area into a wine cellar.
So the bathroom's gone.
The bathroom's gone, so that becomes 2 fridges and a wine cooler. And he wants to revive the fireplace.
So I have to take it all out and get it working again. Make sure that the chimney's clear.
Yeah, break it out and get it working again.
Right.
So he said wood paneling.
Yeah.
Shelving. I think he wanted a sideboard along here.
Yeah, I know what he means. Did he say what did he say? Chestnut, mahogany? What did he?
He didn't describe what it was, but he said something curved along that edge. But yeah, actually, the utility room is reduced, so that column is gone, and the space down the back here is reduced. This is pushed back. So nothing much has changed.
You're talking about a whole refurbishment. I'm still taking out a bathroom. I'm moving the boiler.
Yeah.
The electrics were at the bottom of the stairs. Now I have to move all of the electric.
Into the lounge, not much change. He wants to put a 65-inch TV on the wall.
My guy, I got one. I got 2 on the wall here in the office.
So the aperture, the existing aperture, needs to be increased, and he's saying maybe the fireplace may not be big enough to take it. So, and we can't change the fireplace, so we need to build something around it.
Why don't we build the whole wall out so the TV looks like it's sunk into the wall, and I can put the TV above the fireplace as long as I build it with fireboard or cement board all around it. Along the flat face of the wall, before the wall begins to kick in for the fireplace, I would stop, and then I would finish that at an angle going towards...
To match this.
See it there? On the side profile where it's angled, I can even put shelving down that side as well. And then on the other side, I wouldn't build it because you have the door there. And then above the fireplace, you have a picture on the wall. And the frame of the picture is the same as the woodwork that we've built on the wall. If you have a look at that entrance, the door entrance, on the snug side, the woodwork needs to overlap and finish at the door frame. So when you see the door frame and the architrave finished, there you go, straight away you see it. Believe it or not, Sam, this is the fun stuff for me. I've got to go outside in a minute. Keep it like that for now, because then it's an ongoing theme across that whole wall. So all the rest of the walls in the room could be painted, but then we have a feature wall in both sections what tie in with the design genre that he likes.
To the cellar.
Are we digging this cellar out anymore?
Yes. So we've got 2 steps coming down.
Cool.
They didn't want the steps in the lounge, so it's going to be in the doorway instead.
Yeah.
Comes down into the cellar. The electrics are going to be in somewhere in here. He wanted a shower, similar size to what he had before.
Yep.
But he also wanted a steam room. Now I know you can get these combined shower and steam.
I could build that. I've done loads of those. The door that you've got going into the shower steam room,
Yeah.
does that door have to stay there?
No.
If you move that door further down to the end, I now have a lot more space where I can make a steam room. If you take the toilet and put the toilet where the shower is, where the sink and the toilet is, I can try to construct a large shower, wet room and steam area where the previous door was.
Yeah.
You could put the sink
over there.
Yeah. All you need to show in there, you need to show a seat at the back for me. So across
along the edge here.
Yes. So you see, like where the toilet cistern where it currently is now, the frame. Yeah. If you just do that all the way across.
That would be a bench. That would be a whole. Would that be a whole bench?
Yep, that'll be a bench.
And how big are these things normally?
It's any size. I've done very small ones and very big ones. I need you to finish do these drawings so I can show it to the engineer so he can prepare a structural statement. I'm not going to go to the client unless we have the tree information as well. How long do you reckon it'll take to amend these? Or a week?
What, to make these little changes? No, that can be done. That can be done in a day. That's not a big deal.
If I said a day, you would have said, "Oh no, it's a lot of work." But because I knew it was minor work, but cool, innit? Only when I'm sitting down going through plans, this is how we started doing only this sort of construction work. I actually forget how much I enjoy it. Just playing around with layouts in houses and. All the experience that you gain over the years, most of it you gain from challenges. So when you're going for a challenge, you think, oh man, this is long, how am I going to get around this? But then you build up like a library in your mind of ways to solve problems very quickly. And you actually recall it at the exact time you need it, and you're able to problem solve and firefight very quickly and move on. So I guess that only comes with experience, and experience is the master. So a great Zoom. I've got plenty of emails to carry on with. See you in the morning. On the road again, but I wish I was on the boat again. Don't I just wish I was on the boat again? It's Friday. I'm not in the yard. I'm on the roads, the risky roads, running about, getting a few bits done, having meetings. This morning, the legendary Ashville sign was fixed. Yes, we managed to fix it back in place after the gale force winds damaged it. But this time we fixed it in a slightly different way, putting a timber frame around it. Today is day 2 of the conveyor belt installation. Let's see how they get on. We should be finished with the 40-yard bin today. A great mind was working on that bin. The front of the bin was slightly out, and we didn't want to use the machine to try to push it back in and put something at each end, because we would have just completely destroyed the shape of it. So what we did was we welded 2 bits on it, and then we used block and tackle and attached chains and straps to it, and we tightened it to basically pull the front back in. Now we're going to put some channel along the front, and we're going to put a plate of steel on it, and then some channel at the top as well to support it. Now once all of that is in place, weld it together, put a bit of black paint on it, and that bin should be ready to go back out and do some work very soon. I have another meeting on the way back to the yard, and then hopefully I'll be back in the yard for about 2 p.m. and be able to catch up. And I do believe that my QPR shirt should be hung on the wall as well, which also I'm very excited about. It's the small things that make me happy. See you in a bit. Back in the yard, and the first thing I see is this tipper in front of me. So Terry's run round to Scania and he's going to get one of these braces to hold the fuel tank here. This has been damaged because the driver's I think he hit a wall or he collided with something. And also we've had to order a reverse warning for this. It was working, but it was the white noise. It wasn't very loud, so we're putting a new one on, and I'm not sure. Let's have a look now at an image of the side of one of these tippers, and this, it must have got run over as well. So I don't know how that's actually managed to happen and get that way. So a few bits, a couple of pop rivets are going to go in here to hold this in place, and then this should be good to go back out on the road. So we have someone on the way to fix the glass on a 926 now. We can finally get that repaired and start using it. Not that we weren't using it already. And in other news, at long last, we finally have 20,000 litres of white diesel and 6,000 litres of red diesel. Now, I paid a lot more for that diesel than I wanted to, and it is in fact messing with our cash flow because it costs me a lot more money, near double what we were paying before, but at least we have it, and at least we can keep the wheels turning on the lorries. Oh man, this diesel crisis is brutal. This man said he bought me crisp from the petrol station. Well, now all I can see is his go faster seat covers that he put on there. Yeah, he's opened it. Kids meal crisps, man. I'll just take these two and leave him with the salt and vinegar. Nice. Thanks, Terry.
All of it's for you, the whole bag.
Apparently the whole bag's for me. I would say it's a good end to Friday, but I haven't actually sat at my desk yet. So this is the midway point. It's 4:03. This is the midway point of Friday. I still have to go up to my office and do my emails and do my work. And I'm here tomorrow. As they say in the comedy world, I'm here all week, people. It's Saturday, and I'm in the yard, at my desk, in my chair. We've had 2 companies who owe us money go into administration this week, one of whom owes us about 50k. Now, no company can afford to get knocked for 50k, and we definitely can't afford to get knocked for 50k. So if you imagine a very small doorway, there are going to be loads of us, all suppliers, all trying to squeeze our way in the doorway at the same time, like 2 wide individuals trying to get through a door. With that and the price of diesel, Terry and I are going to have a sit down later, and we're going to talk through what everything is costing us and the price increase that we're going to have to apply. And just with diesel, it just keeps going and keeps going. This gets harder and harder and harder each day. This is getting no easier. You think you make some headway, you meet some people, you got some new suppliers, you find some ways to to do more of what you do. You're dynamic, you fight fires on a daily basis, and it just gets harder and harder, and there's just more obstacles and more expense, and everyone wants it cheaper, and there's more companies doing it. This is not easy. Last week in the yard, I was having a chat with the lads, and we did the pedestrian walkway, but there's also the part where people turn onto the weighbridge, and a couple of lorries had clipped the weighbridge, so we wanted people to have to take a very long swing around to get on. So we were going to make the bay, the relief bay, bay 2, we're going to make it bigger. I'm in my office. Terry's shouting up at my window on some Romeo and Juliet business. Yeah, some Rapunzel business. like I have Daniel, let down your hair so I may climb the dreadlocks there. He's down there, but there's something going on here. This man's there with his fishing bag on. Where are you going?
Have my lunch.
You're gonna have your lunch, but what's the fishing bag about?
I'm going fishing after work.
You're going fishing after work, yeah?
Yeah.
What time you finish work?
We got 1:30.
1:30, yeah? Them times there, yeah?
1:30. Yeah, here, mix with lorries and
We need to go over pricing in a bit, yeah?
Yeah, no worries. Tie a couple of rigs on my lunch break.
You do what, sorry?
Tie a few rigs on my lunch.
Tie a few rigs on your lunch break. Obviously, I know what it means when Terry says rigs, obviously. Because obviously, me and Terry went fishing together. Click here to watch that video.
You're not coming this evening then?
What? No, I'm not coming this evening, but I may have a different plan for fishing. Watch this space. I'm gonna have a different plan for fishing. Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to that Michael Jordan thing on the boat again.
Yeah, the mic. Yeah, see that. This is the thing. If you want to get me to do something, compare me to Michael Jordan. And if you want to get Terry to do something, you got to compare him to Paul Scholes. So yes, Terry, I will be doing the Michael Jordan thing, going fishing. Yes, that's how you get me to do something.
I'm going down my lunch now.
All right. Sunday, I'm not in the yard. I'm out for Mum's birthday. 21 at last. Mum sees the Ashville umbrella, and the first thing after trying to steal it was to say, don't they do a woman's one, the shorter that you can put in the bag? Now, what size would it need to be? You show me. Right, okay. That size. So you won't want this then, will you?
Yes, please, but I need a short one.
You need a shorter one. Right, okay, so I will... For ladies to put in their bag, all right, fine. We're gonna have a spot of lunch, and then we're gonna go around to the theatre and see Hamilton. And you're looking forward to it, aren't you, Mum?
Yes, I am.
Very quiet. You watched the episode? Was it episode 74?
You sent me one this morning.
But have you watched it?
No, not yet.
Why not?
I'll get later because sometimes it can be very long. I was watching you in the second time I'm watching it.
Oh, you watched this? You watched that episode again?
Why can you catch a turtle and bring it back?
Other than the obvious logistic problems with putting a turtle in your suitcase, and the fact that at customs they would have thrown me in jail, I'm not entirely sure that's what the turtles, like what they wanted for their life. Maybe I can get you something like a turtle. See?
So
a fridge magnet with a turtle.
So when I'm watching Natural Geographic, I will see you.
All right, listen, Mum, if it was within my power, you would definitely watch National Geographic, and I would be there talking about the turtles and swimming with them. But it's out of my power at the moment, but I am trying, believe me. Trust me, I would much rather be on National Geographic swimming with turtles than doing some of the nonsense that I'm doing every day. Believe me.
So you were swimming in those sharks?
They're vegetarians, those sharks. They eat krill, they don't eat people.
I see the cake.
Mum, because you saw the cake in my video, it doesn't excuse you from not remembering my birthday. But I'm going to let it go.
I do remember it then.
But you remembered so many of them, so I'm going to give you a squeeze.
Hey?
I'm going to give you a squeeze, I'm going to let it go because you remembered so many of them. And plus, I don't want anything for my birthday. So.
No, you never do? Oh, but it's nice to take a photo on the day of your birthday every year.
Every year.
So you can see your progress.
So I can see my progress. Mum, I'm not getting taller anymore. Like, what are we going to do? Draw a line above my head? My features?
Your face.
I can tell you how my face is going. It's going more round because I need to lose weight. That's what it's going round, like a tangerine. That's what's happening. I need it to go back again. All right, my next birthday, if I see it, I will take a picture. And then maybe you'll know that it's my birthday on that day. Do you remember the year when you argued with me that it was the day after? You called me on the day and went, happy birthday, and it was yesterday. You went, no, it isn't. I gave birth to you. I should know. And I went, all right, but it was yesterday. It's the same day every year. What day is Christmas? 24th, yeah, very funny. Very funny. Very funny. 24th, okay, fine. All right, very good. All right, cool. If Christmas is on the 24th, then my birthday is on the 28th. Cool. All right, fine. And unfortunately, I'm not getting any younger.
None of us.
But I'm not gonna lie, looking at you and how old you are, I'm gonna do all right. And I know you went through the same stress I did. Maybe, all right, cool, maybe worse.
I know. Sometimes I always wonder, how come you speak so fast?
How comes I speak so fast?
On those videos.
You know, it is, if you think I talk fast, you listen a little faster, I ain't got to slow down for you to catch up. You know, it is, Mum, I've got a lot to say, and I need to say it quickly. And if I speak fast sometimes, you may have to rewind and watch it again.
Oh, you understand.
I need those views. Watch it 2 or 3 times. I need those views.
The way you speak fluently and you just go through.
Yeah.
People admire that. You would not believe that, but people do. Sometimes I wonder.
What do you wonder?
I don't know things. All of these provinces. Your Lego PCs, all the toys I used to buy in Chester Street.
You buy my toys in Chester Street Market?
I used to buy in Chester Street. All the dumper trucks. Remember?
Oh, the dumper trucks.
And you remember those vehicles that carry the new vehicles and they bring it to the manufacturers? They have it about 20 or 30 of them when they strap them down on the side.
Okay. I used to play with all those toys.
Oh, of course. But you end up doing the same thing, playing with the same thing. Look now at your business.
Well, I also had wrestler toys, but I didn't end up being a wrestler. And I also had superhero toys. I had Batman toys. I didn't end up being Batman, did I?
250 figures.
I had 250 wrestlers.
Yes, 250.
Yeah, and I had the ring. You bought me 250 wrestlers.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Sorry, what's this? What's that? Oh, okay. Dumplings, yes, okay.
Two calamari?
Calamari, meat. It's you.
Yeah.
Still recording. Time to eat some And that's it for Ashville Weekly, episode 75. Click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video that you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was number 74. Got my wall at last. The bay's a little bit bigger as well. Nice. Sun's out. Good weather next week also.